Hey Clovermates, Lucky Star Shi-Roku here, and I am back finally. Okay, so I've actually been wanting to come back for a while, and I have been working on stuff behind the scenes, as I have mentioned in my most recent community tabs, and even the little shorts. I say short, the little short I uploaded recently, like just the other day. So I have been working on stuff behind the scenes, as you can see in those community tabs, and I have actually been wanting to make this video and bring back the videos in general in a while, but so basically I've been wanting to make this video for a few days now, the last couple days or so, but as I've been mentioning in the community tabs, we've had another really bad heat wave over here. I think it's like the third heat wave the UK has had in 2026, so it's been ridiculous. It's been absolutely ridiculous. The heat, honestly, it's basically us Brits, we're not really made for heat. We're not really used to this kind of heat. It's not something that we're used to, and our homes aren't built for this kind of heat. Like, again, as I've mentioned, for those who don't know, our houses are made out of brick, like not wood, brick. So the houses are made out of brick. It traps the heat in. It's lovely in the winter, but absolutely torturous during the summer. We don't have air conditioning. All we have to do is crack the window open. Maybe, depending on the time of day, open the blinds, close the blinds, open the window, close the window. Do whatever we can. So we've been doing all these tricks and life hacks just to try and stay cool. In fact, let me show you what I've been doing over the past few weeks or so, or months or so. So, in order to stay cool, here's what I've been doing. So, I just took this out from the freezer, and this is a hot water bottle that I've been keeping in the freezer. So, I've been keeping this in the freezer, so it's cold, and that's lovely. So basically I've been keeping this in the freezer. I've been keeping this like when I've been working, I've been wrapping open a towel and just putting it on me and just doing whatever I can to stay cool. It's been that bad. So this has been an absolute lifesaver. It's I can't express this enough. So again, if you do have a hot water bottle, put it in the freezer. If you don't have one, get one. I definitely recommend it. I definitely think we need air conditioning at this point. We didn't need it before, but I definitely think we need it now. But yeah, that's why I've been so quiet lately. In between, again, I'm still looking into get my main drive fixed, but it's still a slow process. But the main reason I've been away and not, I've been so dormant lately is because of the heat, because it's been ridiculous, and again, I've been relying on this for months at this point. So let me go and put that back. So yeah, the hot water bottle or cold water bottle has been an absolute lifesaver. So again, I have been meaning to do this video much sooner, but obviously heat waves in the UK are ridiculous. Again, houses made out of brick, don't have air conditioning, so you've literally got to do whatever you can to survive the heat. It's Americans might say that the Brits are weak, but we're not. We're really not. It's not that we're weak, it's that we're not made for this kind of heat. Our houses aren't built for that kind of heat. So but apparently air conditioning has been becoming more popular, so fingers crossed it might become standardized within the next few years or a decade, hopefully. But getting a bit sidetracked, but basically over the past few weeks or so, I have been working on stuff behind the scenes. So basically, my hard drive is still kaput. We're still calling around, trying to find a shop that'll actually repair it. We're still looking into stuff behind the scenes, but it's still a very slow process. But in the meantime, I've actually dug out my old hard drive that I completely forgot about. So before this drive I'm using now, I had an emergency drive that I had been using before 2020 perhaps, I think, is when I retired it. But I've not entirely retired it. Obviously, I do keep it around for emergencies like now. So I've kept it in here for the longest time, and I've completely forgotten about it. So I loaded that back up, and I started backing things up. Now, so let me show you what I've done. Let me just quickly change the presentation here. Just give me a sec. Okay, so here's what I've done. So this is in my emergency drive, as you can see. Emergency backup drive. So this is not my main drive. This is the emergency drive that I keep around for emergencies. And I basically went back and just updated a bunch of things. Now, keep in mind that there are still a lot of things I'm missing, just because this drive is very, very old and I've not touched it in a long time. So there's a lot of files that I've made on my new drive that don't exist yet. So I am still missing things. Like there's a few things I'm missing. For example, I'm missing I'm missing the files. And give me a sec. I need to change back to the face cam for a moment. So for example, I'm missing the files for this because it didn't exist yet, at least not this version. Like I think I saw there is a version of it, but it's very primitive. Like it's just the one page kind of thing. So it's very, very primitive compared to what I have now. And there's a few other things I'm missing. So yeah. So basically, there is still a lot I'm missing. For example, the channel art. If I go back to, hang on, just give me a second. It might take a while to load. If it takes too long, obviously I'll just cut it. But there we go. So channel banners. But yeah, as you can see, it is a very, very old version of the drive. So these are still. This is back when I was still using my old OC, which I, again, retired a while ago, so it's very, very out of date. Some of these are still using my old logo, like the Eye of Lucky, which I, again, also retired a long time ago. So there's still a lot that I'm missing, and I have had to like reverse engineer a bunch of stuff just to get things back where they were. So let me just show you what I have been doing, what I have managed to get back. So let me go into templates. Okay, it might take a while to. So keep in mind this is an old version of the drive, so a lot of it is like the layout's completely different. I've had to go back into the old mindset and think, okay, how did I do things? Like 10 years, like how did I do things like 5 years ago? Is thinking how, because again, how I make videos now and how I made videos back then is completely different. My formats changed, my procedures changed, everything has all changed. So it's a case of remembering how exactly did I do things back then. So it is a case of remembering for a lot of things. But hang on. Thumbnails. Okay, thumbnail templates. So I basically went back and update everything. So one thing I've had to change here is obviously the emblem. The emblem was still an old version, like it was still the old version. So luckily I did still have my current avatar lying around, which I could just crop and redo easy enough. So that wasn't too difficult. That was easy enough. Again, luckily the actual border is still accurate. So again, that's pretty much what I had before. Nothing really much changed there. The difficult part was like basically making all of the borders again. So let's see. Okay, let's see, thumbnails. Okay, let's play stuff. So platforms. So okay, so okay, so I basically had to go back and make all of these again from scratch. So hang on, let me just quickly open this up in okay, so photos. So I basically had to go back and remake all of these. So again, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series X and S. I've had to make every single one again from scratch. There are some differences. and a lot of these may be placeholders. I don't know, we'll have to see. But again, like all the the DS stuff, like DS, 3DS, you know, Game Boy, all that stuff, all the console stuff. I basically had to remake all of this from scratch. Like, the border already existed, but I had to make the banners, and I had to kind of remember what I did back then for a lot of it. Some of it was easy, like some of them may not be exactly accurate. For example, I think the download, that might be a little different, but I think I actually kind of like this one. So I think when I get my drive back, I'm actually going to replace it with this one because I actually kind of like it a bit more. PC, again, yeah. Actually, oh, I'm missing Steam. Okay, right, so I think I must have accidentally copied, I must have accidentally moved it instead of copying and pasting, so I will have to put that back in. But again, PC CD-ROMs, that might be a little different. Okay, let's see, what else? Nintendo, I've already shown that. PlayStation, so again, Vita, PS1, PS2, PS3, 4, 5, and PSP. I've had to basically go back and make all of these from scratch. All of these. And again, this is just everything I've been doing in the meantime. It took a few days. Okay, not touch that because I'm not doing Sega anymore, but templates. Yeah, I had to recreate the border here as well, so it's been a long process. It's took me a couple days, like maybe 3 days to get through all of this, because don't forget, I have been doing this like during a heat wave, so I've been doing this with a hot water bottle on my chest or my stomach, just because it's been that hot. I've got fans on, if you can hear in the background. I do have a fan on in the background. It is a lot cooler now, which is why I'm recording, and I'm doing this a lot earlier. Like, usually I would record this in the evening time, but I'm not even giving the heat wave a chance. You know, I'm doing this while it's still cool. So so again, I've made all of that again from scratch. Obviously, there's still quite a bit to do. Like the channel banners, that's still out of date. I don't even know if I could remake them just because of how different things are. Okay, let's see what else. I think there was something else that I've been working on in the meantime. Okay, let's see. Let's play stuff. Okay, right. So, Hogwarts Legacy. So I have actually gone back and actually remade the borders, just obviously so I can. Okay, so the main problem, the main reason I've not been like recording again is because the main thing I was missing was the thumbnail templates, like these, because I lost these because they were on my old drive and I didn't, for a while I didn't have them, and the ones I did were severely out of date, so I had to go back and remake all of these. So I basically remade all of these and I focused on the ones that I am working on currently. So Hogwarts Legacy I've redone. Halo I don't think I've touched yet because I'm yeah I still need to go back and do Halo, because if I go back to Halo CE, if you look here, see it's still the old version from before I had the white banner, so there's still a few things to go back and do still, but I decided to prioritize the actual ones I'm working on. So obviously Hogwarts Legacy I'm working on, Nintendo, home console, Switch, obviously Undertale, Undertale obviously I've redone. Sorry, my throat's going a bit groggy. Obviously I have had a fan on a lot, so obviously my voice is probably going a bit croaky because of that. Oh god, that's gonna be out of date too, isn't it? Yep, actually no, but I do still have the World Machine. Okay, right. So obviously some things I did go back and update in the meantime, like occasionally, but there's still a lot to go back on and update in the meantime. Portal 2. Obviously I've redone that. But again, I've just had to redo all of that from scratch, and it has took a while. Again, it's took hours. It's took a few days. I mean, again, 2 or 3 days might not seem like a lot, but it is. Again, that's hours. That's 2 or 3 days is basically a way of making hours not seem like that much time. But it has took a while. Right. What else? Also, in the meantime, I have also updated a few things. Like, obviously, with all the stuff going on with Persona lately, I've actually done a few things with Persona. So, again, I've put all of the old stuff in Classic. So again, Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, that's in Classic now, because I'm looking more towards the modernized version of the games, because they do seem like there's a lot more. You know, with like Persona 3 Reload and the upcoming 4 Revival and, you know, Royal and all that, there is a lot of life improvements which I'm thinking of going more to. And I think the only thing I didn't like about Persona 3 Reload is, if I actually go here, the main issue I think I had with Persona 3 Reload is not having FemC, the female protagonist, but the modding community is quite big, and if you see here, there is actually a modder who is actually putting the female protagonist in, and I did recently see a trailer with her, so even though it's not official, there are people working on putting the female protagonist in, so I think that means I'm going to feel comfortable actually going into Persona 3 Reload with this female protagonist mod. So it is a mod, so it's going to be similar to what I did with Sonic Adventure DE, or, you know, Sonic Adventure. It is similar to what I did there. So again, through modding. So obviously I've made this. Ultimately, I do prefer the female route, so I've made this hoping to do it. But in the case it's not done in time, or it's still buggy, obviously being a mod, it does, you know, it is a ground up mod, so it is taking time. But basically, just in case it's not ready in time, I do have this as a backup just in case. But ultimately, I want to use this one. So I've got that, and I've even got the one for like episode Igus. So again, episode Igus. Yeah, I need to go and put that back into the template because I moved it instead of copying it by accident. So yeah, I've got episode Igus here. And again, I've got that looks quite nice. That's actually quite cool. So let's see, and again, I've also got Revival, which is upcoming. That looks really cool. I'm quite happy with how that turned out. Sorry if you can hear my stomach growling. I am a little hungry. I've literally just woken up, realized, okay, it's cool. I need to record while it's still cool. So I've not eaten anything yet as a result. So, but that's how dedicated I am. That's how dedicated I am. Like with how like passive and how how passive and how dormant I've been over the past few months. I thought, now that it's cool, now that I'm starting to get things back up and running, I have to record while I can. You know, so I'm even like sacrificing my own comfort. I'm going hungry just because of how dedicated I am with how absent I've been lately. Again, I am going to eat once I've done all this, but I thought I need to do this while I can. So again, I've got the Persona 4 Revival all ready to go. The covers as well. Royale, again, still got all them. I need to update that. Strikers, yep. And also, even though it's just been announced and we're still waiting, and obviously what I'm going to do, it is going to be Persona 6R eventually. I'm thinking Persona 6 Resurrection, I think would make sense. So yeah, I've got that. So like, actually, since it is going to be the R version, let me just quickly change Persona 6 R just as a placeholder for now, because again, we don't even know what the R is going to be this time, but it's definitely getting one. It's definitely going to be an R, because think of it, think of the pattern so far. There's been Persona 5 Royal, or Royale as I like to say, Persona 3 Reload, Persona 4 Revival. So it makes sense for Persona 6 to get a remaster, a definitive edition or remake of some capacity. I mean, again, every single game has done, like even with Golden and Portable before the Revival and Reload. So it's definitely getting one, and I think like Resurrection would make sense because of all the occult stuff and the creepier graveyard themes. So yeah, this is just what I've been doing a lot of. Like, I've just been going back and just getting everything ready. Now, it might not seem like a lot, it might not seem like a whole lot, but it is setting things back for it is setting things up. So at least now, because I've made the Hogwarts Legacy template banner, I've made the Portal 2 one, I've made the Until one, so things still aren't perfect and I'm still missing a lot. Like, again, there are still a lot of assets that I am missing because my main drive is still kaput, and again, we're still phoning around looking for someone to get my drive looked at and fixed. But I think once I do get it back, I'm definitely gonna take everything from there just so I can put it on. And I think, I'm gonna take stuff that I've changed, just so I've got a quick copy and paste, so I can copy and paste that. Anything I don't want to lose, I'm gonna have on there. But yeah, that's just what I've been doing over the past few days or so. So again, this is just all future proofing, so at least now I can get back to recording. So I do have a couple other videos I want to do in the meantime, again, talking about my schedule perhaps. I'm thinking of also doing a re-debut. I know I do like re-debuts a lot with my things changing a lot. I know I do that a lot, but I think considering I've actually been on a forced hiatus for months, and I've been away for months, I think if I was gonna do a re-debut, a full-on re-debut, I think now is as good a time as any. So I'm gonna be doing that, I think, as well. There may be a few other videos I want to do in the meantime, so keep an eye out for that. I'm definitely gonna start again as long as the weather holds out, because again, I think we are expecting another heat wave until September or October. I think I saw. I hope it's not the case, but I have heard that we're expecting another heat wave until September. So, but yeah, basically, as long as the heat holds out, as long as the weather holds out, I am going to try and get back into recording daily. So, again, the Let's Play of Hogwarts Legacy I need to get back into, Portal 2 I need to get back into, Undertale I badly need to get into, and hell, even Insane Aquarium. In fact, actually, I even did Insane Aquarium too. Actually, give me a sec. Games, platforms, PC, Insane Aquarium. Yeah, but I even went back and did that as well. But yeah, again, Insane Aquarium. So I'm even going back into that as well. So so things, when I do go back to Insane Aquarium, things will be different just because of how Windows 11 handles the game, which I found the hard way in the last episode I did. So yeah, so things with Insane Aquarium will be different, and I will mention that in the start, explaining that in the start of the next episode. So the point is, I've got everything ready, I've backed up everything, I've basically reverse engineered a whole bunch of stuff, making them more like my assets in my drive that I'm trying to get back. But the point is, as long as the cold weather holds out, I am gonna try to come back doing the daily stuff now that I've got everything back, because that was the only thing stopping me. Not having my thumbnail templates was the only thing holding me back, yes, there's some things I may still be missing, and there may be things that I don't know that I'm missing. Again, time will only tell as I start to record and edit again, but I'm definitely gonna start the daily stuff, like the daily Let's Plays, back up. Again, been wanting to do that for a while, but there's just been a lot of life stuff going on, getting in the way, like the heat waves, my SAD, a whole bunch of technical difficulties and injuries. You know, there's just been a lot going on the past couple of years, but I am hoping to finally bring it back. But again, as long as it remains cool, as long as the heat leaves me alone, I should be able to come back. But yeah, I just want to say that again, we'll have to see what happens. But I'm trying to bring things back, but you know, it all comes down to the heat now, obviously. But yeah, I just want to make this quick little video to explain things and show what I've been up to over the past few days or so. But yeah, hopefully I can bring things back. Maybe a few other videos in the meantime. Again, if you haven't, subscribe, turn notifications on to keep up with all that, with the Let's Plays and other stuff as well. But yeah, I'm definitely bringing things back now that I'm able to. But yeah, until then, have a good day, you guys.